Hey y'all, welcome back to Jay's Jeep and Classic Car channel, the channel that provides video resources to help you with your Jeeps, your classic cars, and your everyday drivers, keeping them maintained, rebuilt, or whatever. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps out the channel. Hit the like button. That also really helps out the channel. You can't believe how much that really does help. So if you do that, I would really appreciate it. So let's get into it. So today we're looking at the starter. Pretty sure that's where our trouble is coming from. Done a lot of troubleshooting. Kind of eliminated that it's the ground. Eliminated that the positive is not getting enough juice to it. All that's out. Took it off, spun it itself. It seemed okay. So at this point we're going to replace the bushing that is in the bell housing. And perhaps that's causing enough friction for us not to get a good spin on our starter. See if that fixes the problem. So anyway, why don't you join me on the journey, and we'll see how hard or easy it is to replace this bushing with the body engine all being on the Jeep, and trying to do it like that. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is take the starter off. And I also bought a new cable here. I think it's still okay, but as you can kind of see, there's some patchwork in it and it's starting to deteriorate a little bit. And so I decided to go ahead and replace it out to just go ahead and it's going to have to happen eventually. And so I decided just to go ahead and do that while I was ordering some other different parts. And so we're going to replace that as well. We're going to put a new one on when we put the starter back on this thing today, or hopefully today. So there's the old one. As you can see, it's done a good service, but yeah, it's time to replace it. Not going to throw it away, don't get me wrong. Just going to put a new one on, that's all. Oh, look at there, that's all broken. We'll have to get a new one of those. Alright, so we're going to try to get this back one first. The nice thing is I've had this in and out enough that I know that the starter kind of stays in place after you get the bolts out. So that's a nice little feature that you don't have to hold the thing while you're dealing with it. Oh, there's one. Let's get the next one out. She'll be free to come out of there. There we go. And out she comes. Just like that. Alright, so what we're going for is to get that right there out. More specifically, that little liner in there. And full disclosure, I do have the fenders off. I don't know how hard it would be to take yours off, but it's going to make this repair a lot easier. So I highly recommend taking your fenders off to get this. I'm trying to use a 7/16 socket here to drive this out. Just can't get on it real well. There's just there's a couple cables in the way. It's causing trouble. I now have 3/8 with the one extension on it. And it ain't moving. Ain't moving a bit. We're literally
using a 3/8 or a 7/16 and beating this thing out of here.
Most of the video show that you hit 3 taps with the soft face hammer and it just pops right out. Well, that was not my experience. I had to use a socket. I used a 7/16 and a 3/8 with a 1/4 inch drive and also a 1/4 inch extension just to get enough space. And I had to beat the living goodness out of this thing to drive it out of it. I sprayed some PB blaster up in there just to drive it out. The goal of this channel is just to try and show you how it really is, not to get frustrated. I was pretty frustrated because I was like, what the heck's going on? I'm doing what the videos I watched showed, and it didn't work. So don't get frustrated if yours doesn't work like theirs does. And no knocks to the other channels, it probably was that easy for them. But mine wasn't like that. So, and yours might not be either. So don't lose heart. It's okay. You're not doing something wrong. Sometimes you just got to put a little more force to it. So hang in there and let's keep going on this journey.
Okay, so this is the little tool I made. This is just a 1/2 inch bolt. I put a single layer of masking tape on it and a nut and a washer. And so we're gonna, this just barely slides on. Masking tape simply there to provide a little resistance and to protect the threads, and then we're going to use that to drive the new bearing on, which is currently in the freezer, and so we're just trying to make that a little bit smaller to help ease in the installation. We'll also put a little bit of grease on it or oil just to help facilitate it sliding in. I had to take the masking tape off just to get that to fit on. Hello. And we put a little quick coating of PB blaster on it. It came straight out of the freezer. So now we're just going to hammer it in. Sorry, camera. Alright, so we had to switch out washers a little bit. Fit in there a little better. See where we're at. Alright, I'm going to drop that washer, drive it on home with the nut. There we have it. It is pretty flush. Okay, so I put a tape like a socket right there, and so we're going to put the freeze plug right there, and then we've bolted in place just a 2x4, this piece of scrap, to put that C-clamp against. So we're just going to use that C-clamp to push that freeze plug into place. That's the plan. We'll see how it works out. Alright, so we put that freeze plug into place after putting it in the freezer for a while. And so we're going to try to put this stuff into place if we can get it there. This emergency cable is giving us some trouble. So we're going to have to go on the outside of it. And so I kind of put it in place by hand. I got that socket So we're just going to try to push it down into place. All that does is keep dirt and all grime out of the way. Alright, so we had to unbolt it because it just didn't work how I had it. And sometimes that's just reality. So I'm just kind of, and this camera mount's in the way. Kind of just pushing that freeze plug into place. And I got my hand back there. Kind of feeling it for how it needs to be. I don't want to push that bushing out of place, but I also want to get this freeze plug all the way flush and get a little dimple on it so it doesn't come back out. So we are turning. As we can. Alright, so it wasn't pretty, but we got that kind of flush to where it needs to be, and it's flush on the other side, so we'll call that a win. So we're going to just lift this thing up in here. Luckily it's light enough. You can just kind of maneuver it as you need to. Out. Lock this thing down into place. Hopefully it's kind of lined up. Alright, so next up is our bracket. We kind of ground on it a little bit just to try to get it to make sure it had a good ground. We also grabbed a new bolt and washer just to see that wouldn't help a little bit. So now we're going to put the cable up to the solenoid. Alrighty. Moment of truth. Now we got to go put the battery on it. So yeah, it doesn't look like that worked. I thought that it had a good chance to work, but it just not working. So I guess it's the starter. I'll have to buy one and replace it. Hopefully that works. Otherwise I'll be paying a restocking fee and kind of looking at what else is wrong with this thing. But yeah, it was a good shot. I've troubleshot everything else, and I don't know what else it would be. So I'm guessing my starter motor just went out, and so we'll put one on order, and whenever it comes in we'll replace it. So I appreciate y'all watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. We're trying to show you how it really is to rebuild a Jeep. It took 3-4 hours this afternoon trying to do all this, so nah, it was worth it. I had to replace that bushing anyway for the new one. So we're gonna buy a new solenoid, new starter, start off fresh, and hopefully that helps. So anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Like I said, y'all take care. It's time for supper.